right, man, I'm back with another video with no cam. This is what we're just gonna have to call this the outage series. I don't know, man, but I just made a video about how weird it was that Julian Newman was basically promoting his sister to become the next OF superstar, and in the midst of that, at the same time, right, because they're talking about, you know, all this weird stuff where you can, there was a website where you could buy pictures of, you know, 15-year-old people, and you know, it was like, this made me think about this situation where there is right now a situation with Jidion, who was a part of the documentary with the EDP documentary. And there was a girl in the EDP documentary who was an actual, you know, she was an organic victim of EDP. And Jidion got in touch with her and tried to basically leverage information from her as a means to set up a catch for him to get EDP off the streets, right? But then she was saying, oh, you know what? He used me. I was really a victim of Jidion and this and that, right? And everybody on the internet, they instantly went and started turning against Jidion. A lot of people don't like Jidion, but I'm not going to lie. I am impartial to all of this beef. I don't really care for pranks, but Jidion, he does good reaction videos and morally gray area videos when it comes to the pred catches and stuff like that. I'll get into that in a bit. But with that being said, bro, I'm going to play a piece of his response, because in the interview, in the documentary, the girl straight up said that she's an opportunist, and, you know, she was exposed for lying about the things that Jidion allegedly was doing, when it came to like trying to force her to talk to the predators more, to EDP more, you know, trying to get her to, you know, talk to him herself. Those were immediately debunked in the documentary, and it seems like everyone overlooked it. So now Jidion had to go and explain his side. And before I go about giving my take on it, I'm going to go ahead and let him show, for, you know, some more of the receipts, just to give you an idea of the type of games that are being played on her end. Because at the end of the day, he did just try to clout chase a predator, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And then when that didn't work, because he never went to jail, because she said she wanted to be responsible for putting him in jail. That's why she didn't let anybody call the police on her behalf. So she was trying to just be the one. She said herself, I want to be the one who puts him in jail. I want it to be me. I want to get credit. That's what she said in this video. But I'm gonna play a little bit just so that you can see some of the games that are being played here. Right, leave a like, subscribe, let's get into the clip.
Adult decoy there. Now, I had asked her to send me some photos of her, and she sent me these photos right here. With these photos, we found an actress that looks fairly similar to her. So I just find it weird that she's saying that we were forcing her to keep on talking to EDP when we're jumping through all these different hoops. I mean, if we can find an actress that looks just like her, then why wouldn't we just take over the communication? It just, to me personally, it doesn't make any sense, but again, she might just be misremembering things, so I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Now, I had sent her a photo of the of age decoy that we would be using, and she sent me this really weird message. I'm gonna read that message for you real quick, and keep in mind, to my knowledge at least, this is the second time she's asked to meet EDP 445 in person. Let me read you what she said. She said, quick question. I was wondering why you need a decoy to lure EDP, because, hear me out, if he sees it, he's gonna leave. Meaning if he sees the decoy, he's gonna leave. And if it's actually me, I could get him to do devious things on camera that he won't be able to deny in court, you know? And since I'm really turning 16 on that day, wouldn't it make it more real? Like, I could get him to spill the beans, because I feel like he'll try to trick the decoy. And I let her know cops aren't going to allow you anywhere near that. I really didn't even know how to respond to that. Now, sadly, I couldn't control nor stop her from communicating with EDP 445. And that was already worse enough that she was even in communication / talking with him. But I was going to make sure one thing I could control is that she was never going to be anywhere near the vicinity of EDP 445. And this is why I'm giving her this strong benefit of the doubt, because, bro, if I had to remember things 3 years ago, I would miss.
So this is my take on this type of stuff. I understand the need for pred catches. Okay, Chris Hansen in the documentary, he gave his take. He said that their job was amateur hour, but now Jidion, he does do good work. He does get convictions. He does push the needle and push the issue when it comes to getting people locked up. Now, I also understand. See, people, they have an issue because these people are, they're making YouTube videos, and that's part of the reason why EDP was even free to begin with, because someone did it for a YouTube video, they botched it, and the guy got to walk free because I believe they reached out to EDP first, so it was not prosecutable to begin with. Since then they learned their lesson. That was years ago, and they've been getting convictions. They've been working together between Jidion, Skeeter Jean, Alex Rosen, right? They had been working together. But the reason why it's morally gray is because they're, people are like, why don't y'all just do this offline? Why do you have to go about entertaining predators, making jokes out of it, potentially not getting convictions? And let me give you the understanding that you're missing, okay? Me personally, I don't think that this is a matter of right or wrong, because if he's going to jail, then that's good, right? If the predator is going to jail, that's good. It's like, think about it like this. You need to get funding to be able to fly all over the world and all over the place, because they've been to Australia, Hawaii, you name it. I think even Alaska. They've been all over the world on YouTube, making sure that these predators get caught. At least Jidion has, right? So it brings a level of awareness, but let's not pretend like the money is not important. You need funding. Now, you could hassle a bunch of nonprofits or a bunch of investors for funding. You could try to pair it with law enforcement and go the long route. But being independent and understanding that with great power comes great responsibility is important, because it allows you to have funding. It allows you the flexibility and freedom to get work done, and to kind of force the hands and not be under the politics of the police department. I've seen catches where the police did not do anything, and the predator got caught by another person. And again, even what Chris Hansen was doing this a long time ago, they caught some fool 3 times. You know what I mean? And there are some jurisdictions where they just do not prosecute. They do not waste time prosecuting, and it's not a waste of time, but they don't use their time to prosecute predators the way that they should, which is the reason why EDP can do a bunch of illegal things and get away with it, because they're saying politically, oh, we can't prosecute because X, Y, and Z. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. Mind you, he's been admitting to crimes all throughout his time. His life is over. Yes. You know what I mean? He is definitely dying, but he's been able to roam a free man with these allegations on his back, and people coming out and, showing receipts that he's been doing more and more and more. So I get why people don't like the YouTubers who do this, because YouTube has a connotation of immaturity to some degree. You know what I mean? People don't take it as seriously as television or as the big screen, movies, but it's very important to maintain your independence and flexibility. And you don't want people who are biased in any way doing this type of stuff. The guys who beat up people, they give the rest of the catchers a bad name. I will say that, because they're not able to convict. When you're beating up, predators, you may even be able to get sued by a predator that you beat up, because it's a decoy game. It's a sting operation. And on top of that, the police also do hate on these independent investigators, because you're kind of taking their job away from them. So it's really a morally gray situation more than it is black and white, right or wrong, just because of the nature of the crime. I'm gonna keep it real. Get them off the street, the predators, by any means. Keep them off. That's the important part, is you want to keep them off. You want to make an example out of these people, which, again, there's been times where Jidion has caught somebody and the dude will straight up be like, yeah, I watched you before, or I watched Chris Hansen before. You know what I mean? So I think as long as awareness is being made, I'm not mad. As long as arrests and awareness and convictions are being made, I'm not mad. I don't care how they catch them. I'm not going to knock the methods by any means. You're able, because it's morally gray, you're able to say this is nasty work, and I'm not going to get mad at you. But at the end of the day, is the juice worth the squeeze? I think so, because the results are getting nasty people off the streets. You know what I mean? So with that being said, y'all drop your thoughts in the comment section about this. I will link this video in my video, probably somewhere in the beginning of the video. But leave your thoughts in the comments, man. Leave a like, subscribe. I'm gone.